Tell me a little bit about yourself.
Wait, is it starting?
How long you been in school for? This is it. Buckle in.
What?
Wait,
I expected there to be some more gravitas.
Nah, man. All right, so just because we're podcast experts over here.
This is why you need a theme song.
Well,
this is why, yeah. So we.
You need something that's like, here we go. This is the beginning.
This is the beginning.
I didn't even
and
know
so
I
I
was
can
in it.
mentally prepare.
Nah, man. It's
Today on Cold Takes by Daniel.
The coronavirus is a hoax. There's the first cold.
Yeah, incredibly cold takes by Daniel.
So actually, welcome back. Today is here's your proper intro.
Thank you. Yeah.
Today.
Bam, we're in it. Sorry.
All right. Well, the bam was a bit much, but today the things are a bit different. As you can see, we have 3 guests for the first time. We took last week off because we were on tour for my 21st. Just bowling around the state of Georgia. And so yeah, we're actually gonna try out some new stuff today since there's 4 people on. We're gonna do 2 regular segments and then at the end do a lightning round and just quick questions, and we'll get into that later.
Pop.
But for the sake of time, let's dive on into these spicy topics. Alright, so this first one, I don't think the cold take's coming from me today.
It actually is, though.
Okay.
But it actually is, because that's a cold take.
Alright, well, let's get in. So Popeyes versus Chick-fil-A chicken sandwich. This was going on a whole lot last fall, and we've had this debate going in the apartment for a hot minute now. And the main proponent of this topic is Garrett G.
But
Moon.
it's not. I'm not.
Wait, I don't know which way do you swing it?
I mean, can you take a gander?
Popeyes.
It's Popeyes.
It's
of
Popeyes.
course.
Alright, so I'm
Of course.
obviously Chick-fil-A because I'm sane. And then...
I haven't had the Popeyes chicken sandwich.
Wow.
What are your, alright, we'll
It
come back
looks
to-
really good.
Yeah, that's called good advertising right there.
Well, I guess I break the tie.
It is good.
So I pick Popeyes for sure.
Oh.
Dude,
Uh-huh.
alright. Okay, so we actually, I don't take Luke's, you're a food science major, but we were
Yeah, break it down for us.
we were talking at the lake this past weekend, and they said, all the northern folks said, grits are better than oatmeal, and I just lost all
No,
respect.
oatmeal's better than grits.
Oatmeal, yeah, reverse.
I don't understand that.
Yeah.
They're not
They're not really. They really aren't comparable.
They're not apples to oranges. I've never been should I have grits or oatmeal?
Yeah,
They have
I'm
similar.
never choosing between grits
you
or
just
oatmeal.
get grits, and then screw the oatmeal.
No, but it's sometimes I want. It's not a choice.
Do you
Those
eat
aren't
oatmeal?
those aren't dualities.
Do y'all
I literally
lot.
don't eat oatmeal.
No.
I'll eat
it's
an oatmeal
terrible.
cookie. Nah, I don't eat oatmeal.
Oatmeal cookie.
It's
Do you eat oatmeal in good
I
mood?
do, yeah.
I've never seen you once.
It's a good way to
say-
try to keep
It's-
your
You
blood
sick so
pressure down.
strong, dude.
Yeah, totally.
You take baby ass.
Our little Quaker boy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So-
But put cinnamon and some fruit in there, it's really good.
Nah, I
That
don't
does
know.
sound good actually.
It's hard to fix oatmeal. It's like an uphill battle. It's how much do I have to? It's like Greek yogurt. How much do I have to add in here to make it
How many healthy things can I add to
So-
make it taste good?
Why should breakfast be healthy? There's so many better options that aren't. You can get fruit, but then there's also cinnamon rolls, pastries,
That is true.
coffee. And coffee's not that bad, but why waste your calories at breakfast being healthy? Just be healthy for dinner.
If you're not gonna do cool breakfast, don't eat breakfast.
Yeah.
I just drink.
Yeah.
If I'm not gonna snack,
Yeah.
if I'm not gonna munch down on something tasty,
Just get a
I'm just gonna
smoothie.
drink a coffee.
Oh.
I'm just gonna drink a coffee and just power through to lunch.
I told you-
where I have the good food.
This might sound a bit ridiculous because it's just gonna be crazy. But a lot of times for breakfast, instead of food, cooking or doing the whole 9, I'll just do coffee, orange juice, and a smoothie and a glass of water, and I'll just
Just your 4 fluids.
exactly.
So
yeah.
you need a beer hat,
But-
like that beer hat, and you just have all your straws.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Going from coffee to smoothie might be a bit rough.
Yeah, that
How
sounds like
about
one of those
coffee and orange
scam
juice?
diets that the Kardashians go.
Yeah.
Want some cayenne water in your
Yeah.
smoothie?
If you want to hear a bad breakfast story, what my dad used to do when he was going to college in downtown Chicago, he would take the train, take the Ellens
Yeah.
to school, and he would never have time to make a proper breakfast, so he would get a thermos of black coffee, and he would crack an egg in the thermos,
Oh.
so it would cook the egg, and then he would drink drink it like a
I wanna know
Wait.
this.
And I went on such a roller coaster. I was like, gross, the eggs in the coffee. But then you said like, when you said like in the thermos, I was like, wait, is there like a compartment and you put it in the thermos and you get a soft boiled egg? That's
So,
cool.
food-
And then you were like, and then you drank it, and I was back to being disgusted.
Yeah.
Alright, so like
Ugh.
food science wise, does that actually cook the egg? Like, does it
If
rise
it's
to the
hot
top?
enough,
or
if it's
like-
hot enough, yeah, it'll cook the egg.
I'm like, I hate
It's so
that.
It's not a food science thing. It's just an egg in hot water.
A lot of
Yeah,
places,
okay.
the black coffee can be incredibly hot to the point where there was one case in which a lady had a cup of McDonald's,
Yeah.
spilled it on her,
She
her
almost
like
died.
pelvic area, and she got like second and third degree burns.
Yeah, so people always make fun of that.
Yeah,
To be
like-
like, oh, America's so litigious. Like,
Yeah.
people sue for like getting coffee spilled on them, and like they like sued because the label didn't say coffee hot. But they sued because they almost died. And that always
Yeah.
bothers me. When people are like,
I remember-
that's such a dumb thing to sue over. Like, no, it wasn't.
I remember I had a class about business law that talked about that, and the way it was reported in the media is that look how insane and litigious everyone is by, suing for hot coffee, for spilling their coffee on themselves. When, I mean, if you look at the regulations, what it was supposed to be, it was just way too hot. When it, went on
Yeah,
her,
it's
it really,
really-
the pictures that I saw of, were
I don't-
not good.
They were keeping it at like over 100 degrees.
Well,
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's like boiling.
I don't
Yeah.
think it said on the cup either, like, caution hot, and I know it does now, because, like, it could just be a situation where, like, before, like, people knew cigarettes caused cancer, they started suing because they're like, I have cancer.
Yeah.
So it could be just, like, the one case that puts the label on the
Yeah.
like,
No, that's
so,
for sure what happened,
yeah.
but people always bring it up as like a stupid thing.
Alright, so back to Popeyes.
Yeah, see, man, we took a
Why-
we just
We
all
started
ate
talking
it.
about
we were like
oatmeal.
we talked about it for a split second, and then we were like,
I mean,
so breakfast though,
that's
right?
kinda-
Grits and oatmeal.
But, like, breakfast is the best meal of the day, so let's
Okay, but let's break. So as someone who hasn't had the Popeyes, I want to hear.
Okay.
yeah, let's
Break it
try to
down.
convince them
Okay,
on each
so-
side, yeah.
For me, if like the reason that the Chick-fil-A regular Chick-fil-A sandwich isn't that great compared to the Popeye sandwich is that like there's not a whole lot of flavor unless you add the vegetables or like add the sauce or add some cheese. And Popeyes, it's got some sauce in there, and
I
What's
mean-
the sauce? Is it like just like some
It's
mayonnaise?
mayo.
It's a mayonnaise based sauce.
Oh,
It
with
depends on
aioli.
what
Yeah,
depending on
it's
what kind you
Wow.
get. There's either classic or spicy. And
sure.
spicy
Spicy
is
sucks.
My dad
spicy
likes
is the
spicy.
best.
So wait, the sauce is spicy, or
Yeah,
The sauce
chicken
the
sandwich
sauce is a
sandwich?
little tangier and slightly more spicy,
Okay.
and goes a bit better with like the actual spicy chicken.
Also, the crunch of the chicken
Yeah, it's
adds,
a lot
adds a
crunchier.
dynamic.
Is it a chicken breast or a chicken thigh? Do we know?
It's a breast.
Ooh, yeah, and it's definitely bigger than Chick-fil-A sandwich.
Yeah,
Well,
it's a lot bigger.
It's
They're-
got all the extra flakes though. We don't know about the actual
No,
meat quantity.
But-
it's a bigger piece.
So the Chick-fil-A, you might know this better than I do. Is it a thigh? I feel
No,
like it's a thigh.
I honestly don't think so. I think it's
You don't think so? Okay.
I think so too.
no, it is a breast.
Because it's so much skinnier, and those Popeyes ones, I thought they were like that whole breast.
Well, because it's not a fake chicken breast. It's a real I'm not convinced Popeyes doesn't do the non-GMO stuff. Like,
You mean
No one does it
oh yeah,
No one does non-GMO
I'm
chicken.
not a food science.
Non-GMO chicken would be about this big.
I mean, genetically modified can mean like a lot of different
Yeah,
things. So when
yeah.
people say like, "Oh, this is genetically modified,"
So it's wheat.
that isn't necessarily
So
bad,
are Alabama
right?
fans.
Oh, get him!
Yeah. So,
Got him, dude.
You gotta
Get
chill with
him.
the band, because anyone who has earbuds in right now.
Yeah, I'm
is
plugging
gonna-
for I'm not gonna apologize.
I'm
This
gonna
is
put a
speakers.
disclaimer.
To all-
We don't apologize on this
Alright,
podcast.
so let me just make my
Yeah,
case
yeah.
for Chick-fil-A
So go for it.
because first off, the spicy and the original, I don't mean to disagree, and you probably know better than me, but I'm pretty sure the only difference is the sauce they put on it. Because when I first bit into the spicy, I didn't get any sauce. I thought it was the original, and I had it happen like 3 times in a row where I ordered the original and got the spicy. And by the third one, I was like, "Yo, I'm not gonna come," because the spicy's not good. I'm sorry, like it just is trash.
The Chick-fil-A spicy sandwich?
No,
Or
the
Popeyes?
Popeyes.
Okay,
Yeah.
Okay.
So the only difference, I'm pretty sure, is the sauce. But y'all look into it. I'm not sure. But the OG one, I remember when we first tried it. It was like, yo, this is pretty good.
I have a video on Snapchat saved of Daniel saying it's fucking good.
Oh,
I was gonna wait until
yeah.
you said
exposed.
Okay, and it is, but here's the thing. That's pretty fucking good.
So the part where you just got exposed.
Yes, yeah.
Boom!
Some,
Oh
like,
my goodness.
some quality issues. I mean, mostly on y'all.
And we're gonna edit that video
It's mostly our
We're gonna edit that video in right now.
Yeah.
No, we can.
Okay.
Perfect.
And,
I was doing it.
okay.
I was just doing it as a joke, but I mean.
No, we
yeah.
are. If you
Boom.
send it to me, we can. So,
Cool. Look at me, I'm
basically-
producing.
Oh my god.
Do I get a producer credit?
Can I
on this?
talk? No, it's part of working out the kinks of 4 people. So no, all right. So first argument I heard is that it's flavorless and there's no sauce. But then you contradict yourself by saying the thing that gives the Popeyes one is the sauce that already comes on it.
Yeah.
Where with Chick-fil-A, a lot of people like to choose their different sauces of
Exactly.
Polynesian,
Yeah.
honey mustard, Chick-fil-A. Honey roasted barbecue is my way to go on a deluxe with no cheese. That's my order, or a spicy. I'm not a big cheese guy, but like spicy deluxe or regular, or just Old Reliable. There's not, the thing about Popeyes that separates it from just a Chick-fil-A original sandwich is like a Chick-fil-A original sandwich is like, all right, let's $4 up the road, grab it. It's like more of a staple in the South than a PB&J.
How much is the Popeye sandwich, Garrett?
It's gonna be pretty expensive. The combo's about $8, $8 to $9.
Oh, it's
Yeah.
not cheap.
So if I'm like having it like a dine-in night where it's like, okay, let's go get Popeyes, like
all out.
cool, like yeah, it's something different, yeah.
But you
it's-
gotta. I'd pay the $1 if they're for the quality. I haven't having not had it, but like if it's better, I'm gonna pay the $1.
But
Some of us aren't rich.
I'm gonna.
Sorry, won't apologize.
I'll save $2 for Old Reliable. You know what it is always gonna taste like. The service is super quick. You're in and out. Like
I'll say I still get Chick-fil-A more than Popeyes.
I
But I
do-
also don't get.
That's also like
regular
a
sandwich.
law of large numbers. I feel though, because I think that I know one Popeyes around here.
Yeah,
it's pretty good, honestly. The service there, it's not bad, but it's just Chick-fil-A kind of sets the bar. I think.
Here's
Well,
my-
I mean, Chick-fil-A service is like, it's fake. You know what I mean?
It doesn't matter if
It
it's
does.
fake.
I don't think they're
It's
that bad.
boomer. That's boomer. I don't like it. It's
Do
too
you want to
boomer.
get yelled at by the Popeyes employees?
You know,
You'd rather get.
Honestly, yes. Honestly, yes.
I
Because at
remember-
least that's honest. When someone is getting paid like minimum wage to cook like fried food
Yeah.
and give it to me, I don't mind if they're not just like glowing with energy and
Yeah, you
excitement
shouldn't be.
to give it to me. If maybe if they got paid more, they would, and that's fine. But like if you're getting paid $7.25 an hour to cook me a sandwich, I'm not going in expecting you to just be like all smiles and happy. Or
Yeah,
So
I
do
wouldn't
you-
want to be.
like-
Do you think
Like, I'd be-
Chick-fil-A should be like pay their employees more for the
I
amount of
at the very
quality
least think they
into
should
it?
be honest about how they feel.
I've never been able to put my finger on it, but there's something unnerving about how psyched they are.
It gives me get out
No,
vibes.
but it
It's
depends.
get
Some
out
people
vibes.
are like,
Get out vibes.
Yeah.
well, some people are really normal. Like they're just like, yeah, I hope you have a great day. My pleasure. But
Yeah.
then some people are like forcing it.
That is
Yeah,
Which
they're-
so like, if you're having a bad day, you shouldn't have to force yourself.
I've had like real experiences too where they're just like fed up and like I've had like regular quality service at a Chick-fil-A too, but like you do kind of have to go out of your way to find them.
There are two types of service that I've ever had at Chick-fil-A, and some of my friends who've worked at Chick-fil-A have both either fallen in one of these camps. Either they're a member of the cult or they're not. So one of my friends that worked at Chick-fil-A, she basically told me it was awful because they all bought into it,
Yeah.
and then everybody kind of acted like that, I'm the Joker baby type.
Did y'all have a lot of people from your high schools work at Chick-fil-A?
Oh,
No,
No.
my high school. the closest Chick-fil-A to my high school was actually about 30 minutes away.
Oh wow! All right, well that probably wasn't Popeyes a lot closer.
Popeyes was if anything farther.
Oh okay, wow.
Chick-fil-A was like homeroom for
I
a lot
never-
of people in my high school.
Yeah, yeah. No,
Like, you just wouldn't show up on time.
No, that's what I did senior year. If I just stopped caring. I'd show up late a lot, and if I was like going to be late by like 2 minutes, I'd just make it late by 30 and have Chick-fil-A. Like
yeah.
I was like, you'd rather be like late and and like full than late and hungry. So, but yeah, all right. So
I have one thing I would like to
Yes.
bring up. I don't know how much time we have left on the topic, but
no, go for
as
it.
someone who's not had the Popeye chicken sandwich, I want to address who's got the best chicken biscuit. Because I have a very cool take on this. And you guys aren't, well,
Oh no.
I want to breakfast
Open
chicken
that can of
sandwich.
worms. Oh my god.
Not just chicken
Honestly,
biscuits.
it's been a long time since I've had a chicken biscuit.
I have not.
I'm gonna throw up some honorable mentions before I say mine. Honorable mention. Bojangles is pretty good. It's I'm not gonna discredit it. It was definitely like
It's the spiciest. It's got the flavor.
it's not very practical if you're like out and about, but like for flavor wise, it's pretty
What?
good.
Wait, but what do you mean by that? Like what? Like
You
can't
might
take it on
poop
the go?
yourself. You
Oh,
might poop
okay.
yourself.
I was
if
like,
you're not doing
what do you
so.
mean? Like it's hard
No,
to handle?
no.
It's a biscuit.
No,
okay,
so
okay. I
it's
see what
not
you're saying.
super practical for that. But another honorable mention: Golden Pantry and Breadbasket gas stations around here.
Oh yeah.
Actually do pretty good chicken biscuits. But I mean, mine's pretty good. Chick-fil-A is old reliable. You know.
So this is new.
Yes.
It is the McDonald's
I have had that.
chicken
Yeah.
McGriddle.
Oh, okay. Well, that's not
Whoa.
a biscuit. It's not even.
I know that's
close
why
to a
I've
biscuit.
changed it to a chicken sandwich,
That's
breakfast chicken sandwich.
Okay.
You guys are familiar
Is
with
it like
McGriddle?
that's like
Yes.
the pancake?
Pancake chicken
So
pancake
good.
with syrup.
That sounds like
pockets.
a donut burger. Like that's
Yeah,
delicious.
I agree
Oh,
with
it's
Daniel.
delicious.
Yeah.
It's like chicken and waffles to go.
Nah.
It's so good.
I'm not a big fan of chicken and waffles.
I mean, I can tell you
Ooh.
what place has the worst chicken biscuit,
No.
What?
and it's Jack's.
Jack's?
Jack's,
Oh yeah,
What
that's
is-
out now.
wait, is that
Jack's.
Jack in the Box?
Jack in the Box.
I've
But
never
where I
had
live, that's like the closest. Well, there's a lot more Jacks than there are like other.
It's big in
restaurants.
Alabama.
Yeah, and I got a biscuit from there one day. My dad got me a biscuit from there one day, and I bite into it, and there's a giant bone about this big.
Oh.
I don't really eat
That's it, cheese.
Jack's anymore at all.
Alright,
You hear
It
that,
also,
Jax? Will
made
never
me like
sponsor you.
super duper sick when I eat it.
so
Never.
alright, so
Unless, I don't know.
Aaron needs to try the Popeyes sandwich, and we'll all try the chicken McGriddle at some point.
All right,
I've had
listen,
a chicken,
I
I've
will
had a
not.
chicken biscuit at McDonald's.
Different
It
experience.
sucked.
Their
Yeah.
biscuits
Yeah,
suck.
it's
They're
alright.
falling apart,
Yeah.
but the McGriddle's soft.
I love
it's
McGriddles.
pliable. It's
Alright,
like-
we gotta move on to the next one. So,
Alright.
did you have any last thoughts?
None other than that you're wrong, and Luke's right. Luke explained most of the main points.
There we go.
Gosh. Well, honestly, I don't know if there is a cold take between the debate. That is why it is such a heated debate. But all right, so question 2: what's the best board game to play during quarantine? So Aaron is our resident board game expert.
I do love a board game.
Bonsoir, if you will. Is
I
that
wouldn't.
how
I wouldn't. I won't. It's okay.
I shan't. So, Luke, do you want to start?
Yeah.
So I don't think I played any board games during quarantine, but I know my brother was playing Catan online, like with his
Yeah.
friends.
No.
You're a big Cards Against Humanity fan.
Yeah, I like
so we'll
Cards
include
Against
cards
Humanity.
and stuff. Yeah.
Honestly, we played Uno, like spicy Uno.
Oh my
That's
god.
what we played the most.
Y'all, if you haven't played Spicy Uno before, just look up the rules online, and it is a blast. It makes Uno like 20 times more fun.
It's fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's much better.
What would you say?
So I've been playing a lot of board games, and I've got a lot of opinions here.
Yeah.
I don't know if this counts as a board game. So it's a. I do some like role playing games. I'm gonna like show some of my like real. This is like one of the nerdier things I do.
But that's what makes you the expert.
Yeah. So it's called Monster of the Week. I'm actually playing with Jacob and then 2 of my other friends. Because so there's this podcast that we all listen to, this other podcast.
Yeah.
No free plugs here though, so.
Yeah. If you want in, you gotta pay. So
Yeah, give us that money.
I don't
Subscribe
think
to our
we're-
Patreon.
So it's like a monster hunting game. So like everyone's a different type of monster hunter, and there's like archetypes where you're like the professional who is someone who like works for a secretive government organization,
Yeah.
or like you're the like the initiate who's part of an old secret society that hunts
Okay.
monsters. So I'm the game master. So I'm telling this story. Yeah. Again, I said it was gonna get nerdy, so you're gonna have to come with me on this.
No, but that's cool. You control it all.
Yeah, it's cool.
Aaron's a crip.
Just a game
That's
master.
gang master.
Gang master.
Game master.
Game
Wait,
master.
so yeah, it's like doing D&D but with gangs.
Alright, sorry.
Yeah.
Side note, don't y'all hate when the breathe notification pops up? It's like you think somebody texted you,
Yeah.
but then it's just like, oh hey, you should breathe. Like,
I'm working on it.
yeah, I'm
Yeah.
trying. Alright, sorry.
But I don't know if it's not like a tabletop. I guess it could be if you wanted to, but
Yeah.
it exists in the Mindscape.
Okay.
So that's a
It's
good
like
one.
Minecraft.
I also have been playing a lot of Catan.
Okay.
Yeah.
And there's this great game called. It's gonna sound bad. I promise it's not. It's called Secret Hitler.
Oh, I
And-
love
I
Secret
played
Hitler.
Secret
I love
Hitler.
Secret
Yeah.
Hitler.
In
So-
Germany.
Yeah. Oh, really? Oh, are they like down with it there?
Well, we gotta hear
Yeah,
this
well,
story.
let me explain what it is first, so people aren't like turning it off.
Oh yeah.
So it's a game about like it's like allegorical in like the way Monopoly was about like a critique of capitalism.
Yes.
English.
So it's like there's like a chancellor and a president, and the president picks like someone to be their running mate, and then you like pass laws, and there's like a couple of fascists and a Hitler. And the fascists know their teammates, and the liberals are trying to ferret out the fascists. It's like a mafia.
Yeah, it's similar to Mafia.
Yeah. So you're trying to figure out who the fascist is, and then if you elect Hitler chancellor, then the fascists take over and they win.
Oh snap! All right.
Yeah.
So
So you got to figure out who the Hitler is and not elect them, and there's voting. And
Yeah.
passing
Yeah, you
laws.
can also kill somebody, right?
You can kill. So that's
Right,
the
That's the
thing.
thing. You
Yes.
kill people.
Yeah.
So if you're a liberal but you think you know who Hitler is and you're the president, maybe you pass fascist laws on purpose to try and kill them. So it's like an allegory for like
risky.
sometimes
Yeah.
liberals can think that, oh, if I just take this, like if I seize this power, then, and not to say like liberals big L, like liberals small L, like
Yeah.
like
Like-
1940s liberals.
Yeah.
Like
This is not a political thing.
proponent of capitalism.
Yeah.
Like 20s, 30s, 40s.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Sorry. So how did it come about that y'all ended up playing?
Yeah, so this was like the first week that I like arrived in Switzerland.
Also, Luke just got back from Switzerland.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes,
Last
been back
week.
in the US
Back.
for about 8 days. And so it was like one of the first days that we were hanging out, and like I met up with an exchange student from Switzerland who studied at UGA the past semester. So like that's how we knew each other, and we met a couple people at her place, and then one of them invited me on this trip that they were going into Germany like the next day, and I was like, sure, I don't have any friends here. I'll just like tag along with you guys.
Yeah.
And so we went.
Didn't you go with like very little money too, because your car?
Yeah, I didn't
wasn't
have any
like-
money.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I was just like, sure, I'll hang out with you guys.
Yeah.
And so we ended up like hanging out at like some coffee shop, and they had it there.
Oh my
And so we
gosh.
like just played it in the coffee shop, and I was like, this feels weird.
But it was in Berlin, right?
No, it wasn't in Berlin. It was like just across the border.
Oh my
in
God.
That's
Germany.
wild.
Was it West or East Germany? That's kind of a deal breaker. Oh
That was
my gosh.
interesting.
Alright, so Monster of the Week, do you have a good recommendation that they might have? Alright, Secret Hitler.
Secret Hitler is my
Secret
like
Hitler's-
number one like board game that you probably haven't played.
Is it an actual board game you can buy?
Yeah. So there's like
there's-
cards.
There's two versions, right? There's the online version, and there's the board game version.
I didn't know there was an online.
There. That's how I actually found out about it.
Yeah,
Just
yeah.
Somebody,
Yeah.
somebody. I think it's on like an app that lets you play a lot of different types of games, and someone made it for that, and that's how it started out. And then they made the board game. The board game's pretty expensive though. That's the
Yeah.
only thing I remember about it.
That's all board games. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's tough. But it's one of the. It's like cheaper than a Monopoly or something.
Yeah, I actually don't. I like spending money on board games where like I know the designer or something cool like that. Because a lot of there's some local ones around Athens that repurpose European games, and they do a lot of cool graphic design around here. And I met some of the designers who do that, and it's super cool because it's like kind of supporting local business, but it's
Yeah,
also
yeah,
like
yeah.
tried and true game.
That's awesome.
But yeah, I don't have a whole lot of opinions on board games. Like my favorite is Scrabble and Monopoly. So if nobody wants to hear me go on about it. You've been playing a lot of Quiplash.
I've been playing
right?
Quiplash.
Oh,
yeah.
Quiplash
Quiplash
is what me and my family do. with like all of our inside jokes. We have like a bunch of different stuff, and I mean,
it's not quite a board game, but it's pretty great.
It's not a board game, but it's pretty similar. And like you can buy those on like I know Carver has it on his PS4, and that's how we play it.
Yeah. That's how I had it. Yeah.
And you can play that. There's other games on there though, like if you ever played Trivia Murder Party, which is like it's really fun. It's fun especially because like I always beat my family.
I always win.
Yeah. Oh, I watch like Jeopardy with my family every day. I don't know if that counts because it's not really a board game.
Jeopardy?
But we like, but we like always try to yell out the answer for the other. I think that counts.
Did you see Quentin? He filmed. Quentin filmed me and my parents playing a mock game of Jeopardy, and it was hilarious. It was like Plant's mom is killed, and like the categories were just ridiculous.
Have you seen the clip of Jeopardy?
Jeopardy? What is that?
It's just I can send it to you later, but it's this Twitter clip where they basically replace like every word in Jeopardy with the word Jeff, and so like the categories are all Jeff, and it's like the answers are all what is Jeff?
What is Jeff?
And then someone like gives like a real answer, and they're like, nope, that's not correct.
That is a part of the internet I do not feel like venturing.
Is that on Twitter?
Of course.
Yeah,
Oh my
I don't
God.
use Twitter.
So.
I looked at it one time today because I was like looking for this thing that I had like. I used to like read my own tweets and be like, man, I'm so funny. Yeah, no,
I'm the
seriously.
funniest person.
But like the first thing I saw was people arguing about SpongeBob being gay. And
I saw that.
Oh
yeah.
no.
Oh dude, and
You're
somebody
gone for one day.
came out and was like SpongeBob shouldn't be gay, and then it became like a whole political thing, and it was like, yo, it's SpongeBob.
Yeah,
like,
people need to relax.
They had to like issue an apology and all
And then,
that.
like, I don't even think that's what they said, was it? Like, they said he was part of the LGBTQ plus group, which includes asexual, which sponges are.
Yeah.
That's
so, people are mad about nothing.
No, but the best part was the memes that came out of it. Somebody said, it was like it was from an old documentary. It's like, so, SpongeBob is gay. Would you like to elaborate on that more? No. No, it was really good. Yeah, do y'all ever go back on like your old tweets and like stuff that they get any likes, you delete them?
I just retweeted myself because people obviously didn't see it. That was hilarious.
You left them speechless, King. That's all it is.
I deleted Twitter and Instagram and a lot of my social media, like just to like kind of not be on there, especially like during quarantine, because I was like, I don't really want to see how the world's
going to shit,
falling apart right now. So I deleted all of it. It's made me a lot happier, but at the same time, sometimes I do have like the urge to post.
Yeah.
You get what I mean? Like
I
have I have the poster's heart. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I have a yearning to post, a yearning to go back.
You put out good content.
I do. So. I think my tweets are pretty funny actually.
Yeah.
And if they're not, just retweeting like somebody named like Bernie's bad bitch or something.
Yeah. So do you miss it? Like, do you felt like that was?
No, I really don't miss it. I don't miss it that much because like I guess for me, going on all the time is just like draining, and I basically every time I'm like I'm kind of not feeling great, and I'm like, what can I do? I almost always delete Twitter, Instagram, everything, and it normally helps.
Yeah, no.
Like it normally keeps me from just looking at it all the time, just being like, oh wow, everything is kind of terrible.
Twitter is one that if I didn't have to have it because I use it so much for classes and the analytics tools on there, I would get rid of Twitter. Like it's so dark at certain times where it seems like a competition to outsmart like one another, and like you think you say something original and they're like, well actually it wasn't, and it just feels like it's a constant like dog pile on one another.
See, I mostly just try to like read like different news articles. I don't, because part of what I like about Twitter is being able to stay informed, but I can do that anyway.
Yeah.
It was just a bit easier on Twitter, but I still try to like.
Well, you use Reddit a good bit.
I use Reddit a lot. I just go online, like I read different newspapers.
Yeah.
And just try to make sure that I'm up to date, and that's also so like. I try to make sure I learn as much information about a given subject as possible.
Yeah.
To if I do happen to get into a spot where I need to either defend a position or attack someone else's, that I know what the weak points of a certain argument are and what the strengths of mine are.
Yeah.
And if you know that, it's normally pretty easy to beat most people because most people don't really.
So Garrett's
do
about
that
to
much.
win lightning round.
What do you mean?
Yeah.
What are
He's ready to take us
yeah.
apart.
All right, so
100%.
let's get into a lightning round because this is going to be interesting to say the least. So for lightning round, we're doing 3 categories.
Okay.
Each person has 1 minute apiece to lay their claim and just talk about something that they're passionate about
Okay.
for each topic, and then there's 1 minute for everybody to just attack the other.
Okay.
Oh, jeez. All
Or
right.
well,
Let's do it.
we're gonna end on a positive note, but so I'm gonna get a timer out.
So all 4 of us are going at each topic.
Yes.
Okay.
So
okay.
yeah.
I
So
hope I have hard opinions on all of these.
the first top. Well, it's all pretty personal. It's all about
Okay,
like
okay.
collegiate experience. So
Okay.
we'll start down there for this one, and we'll alternate. This is a calculator, not a stopwatch. So it's gonna be really hard to tell time on there. But we're gonna set a timer of 1 minute, and the first category is best place to eat in Athens. All right, so Luke, you ready?
Yeah.
Go.
My favorite restaurant is Fives downtown. It's very expensive, so I usually just go with my parents. Really good fish, fantastic salads. But I mean, if we're just going like with us, like as our friends, probably maybe the place for like a restaurant.
You just take up all the restaurants in your 1 minute. That's good.
Yeah,
Just
well,
take all of
just
them.
gonna name all of them.
Pick one. Take a stand.
Definitely Fives for sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
I haven't been there yet. We were gonna go there the other day, but well, I didn't mean to eat into your time. But do you want to tell us
I
anything
did.
about it? Okay. All right. So Luke, that's a bit of a flex to finish early, but all right.
Yeah.
So I guess you're done. Aaron, you ready?
I can make myself ready. Yeah. Let's do
All
it.
right. Good.
All
So
right.
go.
So there's a place called LRG Provisions.
I've been there. Yeah.
Yeah,
it's
so
good.
it stands for Last Resort Grow Provisions.
Oh,
The same guy who owns Last Resort. It's in 5 Points, right next to Bottle Shop, the 5 Points Bottle Shop.
Yeah.
They do a fantastic brunch that has really good mimosas.
They do.
got. I'm not a Bloody Mary guy, but they got them if you're into like alcoholic tomato soup. If that's your jam, they got it. They got this bread basket that's got these fresh breads that are they got muffins. They got like all the breads you could want.
All the breads.
And then a full-on chef's kiss from you.
Oh, full on chef's kiss.
Okay.
And then they got during the week on a Tuesday, I think it is, you get the meat in 3, where you get like a meat dish, so like a meatloaf or like a chicken leg, and then 3 sides, and their sides are popping. Like
Yeah.
classic Southern comfort food. Like you get your mac and cheeses, your like collards, and then you get some like sweet potato casserole stuff.
And we are.
That's how you do it.
Yeah.
That's how you do lightning round.
He sold it honestly.
That's how you do lightning round.
Whoa.
Luke.
All right. So provisions is all right. We'll get into it later.
I think we have a leader.
Okay. Well, I'm about to cook. So Weaver D's, Little Greenhouse, right down there. It's the big sign with automatic for the people. It's where REM used to eat all the time when they were here. It has the best fried cooking and chicken, pork chops, anything. Pretty much you just walk in and there's the guy who owns it, Dexter Weaver. He's from Louisiana. So if you know me, like Cajun food is my favorite food. Shameless plug. It's really freaking good, and the spices in the fried chicken is just ridiculous. You talk about sides at Provisions. Sides at Weaver D's are next level. They're like $3 a piece, and I'll go ball out and get like $25. Not eat it all. Feel terrible about myself. But it's not because the food's bad, it's because I can't control myself. So, Weaver D's is a must buy. It's just a little greenhouse. They're only really open for lunch. They close at 5 each day, I think. But it is incredible. Would recommend, and just under a minute. Garrett, you ready to go?
Wow, that's amazing, Daniel. Yeah, I'm ready. Let's go.
Yeah.
Dana's
And-
finishing in a minute.
Go.
I agree with you, Daniel, that Weaver D's is one of the best places in Athens. One of my favorite places is a little, I want to say Latin cuisine. I'm not exactly sure if it's Mexican or Central American or anything like that, but it's called Tlac, which is fun fact, is named after the Aztec water god, if I'm pretty sure, if you wanted to know that. But they have maybe the best steak tacos I've ever had.
Yeah.
They're like it. I normally get them without cilantro but with onions. But it's just basically 3 tacos that have nothing on them other than like, you know, the meat and the onions, and it tastes so much better than just about any other like Mexican restaurant I've ever been to.
Yeah.
And not only that, but the cheese dip is maybe the best cheese dip I've had in recent memory. The feel of the place.
You're
You're
out.
out.
You're
I'm
done.
done.
Get
That
out of
was
here.
way.
Get out of here.
That was
Get 'em out.
way harder than I thought it would be.
No, so
Because
yeah.
I don't shut the
Gotta play the
hell
game.
up.
It's-
Welcome to lightning round. Ka-choo! You can use that for free.
Yeah.
You
Alright,
wanna like cut that out and put that at the beginning?
that's our. That's
You
our
can
new-
do that.
Yeah,
Yes,
thank you.
Yeah,
I have the copyrights. So basically, we're just gonna this is gonna be chaos for 1 minute, and then we'll move on to the next
So
topic.
wait, so like all 3 of us go after.
Do your best not to talk over and like ruin the experience for the
Yeah,
listener.
sure.
Yeah.
But we're gonna go. All right. So provisions. Let's just say it.
Oh, we're
only
starting
good for
with me?
only good for brunch.
Incorrect.
It's like it's pretty good. There's 1,000 brunch places in Athens. There's also 1,000
Not
chicken
same
places,
quality.
and one stands above the rest. It's called Weaver D's.
Okay.
Also, yours is like $20.
Yours is way overpriced.
Okay, so
it's like $6.
if you want good chicken,
Weaver
you
D's
get
is
hot
overpriced?
chicken.
Yeah.
No.
You get hot chicken on mac and cheese with fried okra at LRG, so you can get out of here. Also, your hours are whack.
Okay.
It sounds.
You gotta be open. You get the brunch. You get the
Provisions
lunch.
hours
You get
are
the
whack.
dinner.
Look,
Provision hours
They
are
have
I
a
will,
brunch
I
time
will
and a
come to
dinner
Daniel's
time.
defense here because Weaver D's, the one time I went there, was incredibly good. It's like it's got a nice feel to it, and you know part of the what we should probably do today is support black businesses, and that's what you're going to be
Aqua
doing.
Linda is better than Talak.
Oh, you can't. All right, 1 second. We can't argue.
I was expecting Cali and Tito's because I
Yeah.
don't think I've ever been to Aqualinder.
All right, so real quick, just let's wrap this topic up. Honorable mentions has got to be Cali and Tito's.
Yes.
Canes.
Wait, which one though?
Both. It doesn't matter.
No, the one.
The big
East side
the
one.
big
Yeah.
one, the
The
big one
one
is
you
the
can
good
go
one.
inside. The decor is popping.
I think the food's better at the Shack, but all right,
That is true,
whatever.
the food is better.
All right, so and then so just quick plug on that for Dexter Weaver does a lot of work in the Athens community, supplying elementary and middle schools and providing work for a lot of underprivileged students and giving back into the community. So that's a really cool. He made it into local Athens magazine recently.
Okay, I lose.
Well,
That's
yeah.
No, but
Provisions-
no, but
He's
I'm
really cool.
surrendering.
Provisions also does a lot
Pretty cool.
because food in poverty in Athens is a big deal, and so a lot of local businesses. I'm pretty sure Provisions also pitches in. So, but yeah, Agua Linda versus Tulloch is very interesting. Quentin, my brother, we have this debate all the time. But all right, so we got to move on. Sorry, but you dropped that
I know.
bomb. Very sneaky.
Yeah, you weren't even the last
Luke
word.
spent that whole time
Alright.
climbing the
It's
proverbial
boring.
tightrope to like drop the bow at the last,
Alright.
right at the bell.
So we're gonna start on this end. This
Okay,
time.
okay.
Wait. So we
Shoot,
gotta
man.
introduce.
I don't know.
So
I don't drink that much.
So, since we just turned 21, this is our first time. I just.
Since we all just turned 21 on Daniel's birthday.
Yeah, I'm that egocentric. So, I just turned 21, so this is my first experience going to bars, obviously. And so, I might have a less formed opinion, but we're going to try and break down the best bar in Athens out of the 83 options that we have. So, Garrett, if you want to go, ready and now.
Well, the first one that came to mind was probably 100 proof, and I think the answer is because I really just like the slushies.
Yes.
Like
Yes.
they're just like the best. Like the one with Everclear in it. I'm like,
Oh my god.
that was good. It's good.
Opinion was going.
It's
It
good.
was gone.
Oh my god.
And then you can like mix them together because that's the only. I don't know, and there could be other bars, but that's the only one I know that does slushies. Also, Wonder Bar is cool because it has like games and stuff. Like they do like.
You gotta take a stand though. What's your one?
I'd probably go with 100 because I'm not going to the bar to play games.
Well,
Fair enough.
actually, 100 is it's being remodeled.
Is
so
it?
I'd be interested to see.
It's like the
yeah.
duck or whatever, right?
Yeah, so
No, I thought that
the
was
silly
I thought
goose.
that was
is-
Hedges that was being.
I mean, I could
Oh,
tell
that's
you what the worst one is for sure, but like.
What's the worst one?
Yeah,
You
it's
got
bourbon.
it.
It's bourbon.
Alright, perfect. Okay, so a little bit under the time there, but alright, I'm gonna go ahead and go.
Yeah.
Good luck.
Best bar in Athens. I've got to say it's probably Silver for everything that you want out of it.
Wow.
Now, that's the one I'm going to make a stand on. It's when you think of like the Fred's or the Blue Sky Bar or Sky Bar or Auburn or like just the one that you think of with Athens. That's the one that I hold the most keep to, where it's has the big Ath signs. It has the upstairs, the outside. It's right on the corner. It's like perfect location. They always play great music. They have a little bit of everything. They got darts, pool. There's just something for everybody there, I feel like. And the drinks are like, they're pretty quality. But honorable mention, just like favorite chill bar is definitely Blue Sky. My brother put me on to that. It's just like into night there. That's what I would say. But Silver is the one I'm going with. So.
This is tough.
All right. You ready?
Yeah.
Okay.
So depending on what kind of night I have would change my answer. But if I'm going like out, like we're going out, I'm going to 90s.
Yeah.
So I don't mess around. Like I don't enjoy just like standing and just like drinking. Like I don't. That doesn't do it for me.
You like to rage.
Yeah. Well, I'm okay doing that sometimes, but like standing around for like many hours, just like this is a good song. Like I gotta move, man. I gotta, especially once I've had like a drink or two. Like I gotta move my body.
Yeah.
And 90s do that, and the music.
Big
the best.
90s fan?
Oh man, and it's not even always 90s, but they play great music. Yeah. Except for one time they played an Eminem song, which wasn't great because it wasn't like everyone was dancing, and then it was just like Lose Yourself, and it was like, yeah, this is, and like everyone was singing it, but like no one was dancing. Yeah. Everyone was just like.
They didn't get the DJ bag for that one.
Yeah, that one was tough. But yeah, 90s, and also great drinks.
Oh. Yeah, you're good. You killed it.
Didn't even think about it.
No, you are killing this. All right, so Luke, you ready?
Yeah.
All right, go.
So honestly, I have no loyalties towards certain bars. I'm gonna be honest. I can take them or leave them all mostly.
Yeah.
I certainly enjoyed 100 for sure as an underclassman. It was really cool to like go out on the patio and get the slushies and stuff like that. I really like 90s. I like dancing there. We've just gone to Boar's Head a couple times, and I really like that.
Yeah.
Patio. I really like being able to go outside. I hate being like super sweaty in the bars. Yes. I'm not gonna lie. Like I love dancing, but I like to be able to like go up to the roof, cool down a little bit.
So if you had to pick one for like best experience, I guess.
Honestly, I've had a lot of really fun nights and at Hedges.
Wow.
I'm not going to say that's the best bar at all, but I will say I've had a lot of really fun nights finished there.
It's the one you're taking the stand for, it seems like.
Yeah, sure.
All right, cool.
Someone's got to get the freshman.
All right, so, and y'all ready? It's crazy. You press the button, the world's going to end.
Daniel, here's how bad yours was. I don't even remember what it was. Lame. That's how little it sticks in my mind.
Have you been to Silver before?
Silver, oh yeah, that's right. Yes, I have. It's fine. It's like just bodies on bodies of like people gawking at each other, and the outside is kind of cool, and that's where all the girls take their pictures, which is nice. But like
or us, but it's cool.
Or us.
Okay, so I'm just gonna debunk 100 real quick. Okay. Slushies are good. Other places have them, and also there's been a local tragedy recently, so kind of disqualifies 100.
Oh yeah.
I thought I was misremembering. I was like, whoa, hot take.
Yeah.
And Hedges. Both. So the same guy on both, right?
Yeah, 100 and Hedges.
Wait, he owned both? I thought he just owned Hedges.
No, but so Hedges is like a quintessential Athens bar, but both of them recently.
I didn't know he owned 100. I thought he just owned Hedges.
Yeah.
Yikes, y'all.
So I guess you had to be there.
Guess
no. So all right.
Didn't hear anyone attack mine.
Well.
90. Honorable mention, All Good is the one I wish I had said.
Fantastic drinks.
All good.
I mean, fantastic cocktails. Pool, not super crowded.
Never really.
And has the outdoor patio that is really fun.
Yeah, we just went. All right, so I would agree. All Good, Blue Sky, and Silver are usually most frequent in my rotation, but we just started going to Boar's Head, and we've had great time the past 2 nights that we went. So
honorable mention to the East Side Blind Pig also is a great establishment.
Trivia night.
Trivia night, and get yourself an O-bomb. Get on down.
Oh, plug it. All right, so this one, to end everything on a good note, we're not going to be much attacking, and there's not.
I will.
There's not.
That's how the game works.
Oh my god.
See, I don't dislike Silver that much, but that was my main thing.
Yeah, he's just like,
Use
whatever
your
you
allowed
thinking,
that.
use your
sucks.
anger.
Yeah, y'all aren't allowed back now. So, all right. So the last one, we're not going to do the minute at the end. We're just going to talk about because the last category is our favorite memory from the past 3 years.
Aww.
We've been hanging out for 3 years now.
Yeah,
Met all these guys super early on, and whoever wants to start can go.
I mean, I have 3 different ones that I think
Perfect.
of.
Yeah, all right, you go first then.
Okay. All right. So number 1 is going to see the Rose Bowl. That was one of
Yeah.
the coolest things. Like just seeing it after we won, after that elation of winning, after that hard fought comeback was amazing. Second would probably be, and this is with y'all, going to Disney World in Jacksonville.
Yeah,
That was freaking awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, and watching Brian Herring with the catch,
Oh my
and
gosh.
just us watching all the Florida fans be so upset. It was freaking awesome. And then the last one would probably be me going to Northern Ireland, going into Belfast, and learning about the socio-cultural conflict that they had there.
Yeah.
It was maybe the most eye-opening experience I've had in college, just
Yeah.
seeing and learning about these communities that have had so much trouble in the past, and how they're moving forward from it, and how those effects still linger and cause their communities harm, or can bridge the gap between the two.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, that's a great list. I mean, again, we're not going to disagree with anything.
I don't know how you can disagree.
Very good.
Yeah.
So wait, these are our top college experiences?
Yeah, well,
Yeah, basically.
one is fine or 3.
I went with 3 because I was like, I have ones that are with y'all and without y'all,
Yeah.
and
Well, that was one from each year, also.
yeah. I mostly just
Yeah.
thought about all the fun
Okay.
times that
Alright.
I had, the things that I remember the most. Out
Yeah.
of college.
I got you. All right. So who wants to go next?
I'm still thinking.
I can pop up here.
Got you. I'll go ahead and go. Y'all think.
Okay. Yes, I would appreciate that.
All right. So, yeah, I'd love to bring up a football game. Y'all know how much I love football. They're so much fun. Rose Bowl, SEC championships. Just not for winning, obviously. But, Georgia, Florida was a great one. There's been so many great memories on the road and in the stadium.
Advantages.
But I don't want one of those to define my 4 years, because at the end of the day we're gonna forget the result of a football game. But with saying that, my favorite memory was G-Day weekend, not for the game, freshman year. It was a very rough weekend, and I don't think I've ever felt the love of my friends anymore. I don't think I've grown any weekend more in college than that weekend. 'Cause Garrett and I hung out the whole weekend, and it was a blast. And my mom came up, and it was just kind of a perfect weekend. But yeah, so
That was so nice.
yeah, so sappy hours. But you go ahead and
That's
go.
pretty good.
All right, yeah, I'm ready to go. So we're talking football games. Notre Dame game.
Yeah.
Big ups on the Notre Dame game
Yeah.
We
because
sat together for that, right?
yeah, we sat
Yeah.
together under those bleachers. It was
God,
so
those bleachers
hot.
were horrible.
In the way back.
Horrible.
Screaming in the way back,
Yeah.
screaming our faces off, and then we came back here and turned this place into a dance
Oh
club,
my
which is
God,
my favorite
yeah.
thing that we do.
Yeah.
I love doing that with you guys, especially
Yeah.
in quarantine,
Yeah.
because you can't go to the real dance club.
No, yeah.
And then I'm gonna throw back to. It was the first time. I don't know if it was where I met Garrett, but it was where I met you guys.
Yeah.
Freshman year, it was at soccer.
Yes,
It was a
yeah.
5-slam It was like a
Oh my
5-slam
God,
sports
yes.
outing.
I didn't know it was 5-slam.
It was because I went with a friend who I knew who was in it,
Yeah,
and
it was awesome.
they were playing football, and I was like, I'm not very good at football. And I
Yeah.
saw people playing soccer. I saw these guys playing soccer.
That's
and I
how
was
we
like,
met. Yeah.
oh, they look cool. And I was like, hey, what are your names? And
Yeah.
the rest is history.
We went and got to the dining hall and just kept
Yeah.
hanging out since
Oh.
got king, so. But also, I just want to add, honorable mention was after G-Day sophomore year, we had an Easter party, and that was another one of my favorite. And for G-Day, sophomore year, it was pouring rain, but we had so much fun at the Easter party that nobody cared. But all right, so yeah. Anyways, Luke, you ready?
Yeah, sure.
All right, go. For
Yeah,
it.
no, I was gonna say similar. That was this second week, I think I was in Georgia.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And I was hanging around with TJ for the first week,
Yeah.
which
Your
was
old
my
roommate.
roommate freshman
TJ,
year,
yeah.
who I have not spoken to. So we just weren't friends.
I was about to say, wait, is there beef?
Shout out TJ. Shout out TJ. We love you, TJ.
But yeah, I was able to like meet you guys and then like eventually meet everyone else through there, and so that was very, very fortunate. I met you guys so early. One of my other what was my other favorite? Hiking the Alps this past month was something that I never thought I would have the chance to do, especially in college. So I was very happy to do that. And that's a fun story for another day.
No, go ahead and go.
It's kind of long.
Okay.
I want to hear it.
Well, just a bridge version.
Okay,
Yeah, about
so
10 minutes, yeah.
I went. I can do it pretty short. So it was the last day that the weather was going to be nice for about the next week, and so I was like, okay, I need to go before I leave. It was like the last week I was going to be there, and like no one else like in like our friend group like wanted to go that day. And I was like, screw it, I can just go by myself. It's fine. So
Because hiking by yourself is a great idea.
Exactly. Yeah. There's a lot of like
Especially
don't
if
do
you're
this
good with chewing your arm off.
Yeah.
Okay, so you went by yourself?
Yeah, so there's a lot of like don't do this at home kind of thing in this story. So I went by myself, took a train down there. I got there about 2, and so normally there's like a train that goes up the mountain. And it's like really pretty and whatever, but like since coronavirus, it wasn't going, and I knew that, and it was fine. So it was gonna be about 4 hours up to the summit, and I was like, that's fine. And so I like go up there, or I start hiking, and it is definitely like the hardest physical excursion I've ever done. I've done a lot of physical excursions, including hiking, but this one was up there. And so the last about hour, I was at like, where the ski resorts are.
Yeah.
And so it's pretty much like straight up,
Yeah.
basically, because
Dang.
people ski
Straight
down.
up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so like I would walk, like 15 feet and have to catch my breath.
Oh my
But and the whole time there's the storm that was coming in like that night, which is why I had to go on that day. I'm like walking up like towards it, and I'm like, this is bad. So I need to get up there, and I'm like, okay. So I finally get up to the summit. I like do a little photo shoot with a self timer up on the mountain with the Matterhorn in the background, and then I'm like, I need to get down.
Yeah.
Like I still gotta go all the way down, and so out of like over there, I see the train that that goes up and down the mountain like going, and I'm like, I didn't think it was running. Apparently, the construction workers were like doing maintenance all up and down the mountain, and they were using the train to transport them, so it was still going. It just wasn't for regular people. And so I'm like, if I can catch this train, I won't get caught in the storm, and I might make it. So, but I'm like, they're not just gonna stop if I just run to the tracks. So I need to go to. There was like a stop that was where the ski resort was. So, but it's like maybe 100, 200 yards like down there, and I was like, I need to beat the train.
Oh
This is
my
full.
God.
You went full revenant, man.
And so I'm like running down, literally like running down this mountain, and like
Cue the Jack Sparrow.
being chased by
seriously, like
Yeah.
because it's like down, and I'm like leaning back, trying to fall, and then like at one point the trail goes like that and like swings back, and I'm like, well, I can just like cut across to like avoid it, but it's like a patch of snow, and I was like, it's fine.
Oh my
So I like put my foot on the snow and just go, just like sliding down this mountain, and I'm like covered in like dirt and snow, and like finally like get to the place, and there was one construction worker that was like waiting to get on the train, and I'm like, can I get, and he's like, yeah, sure, just cross the tracks. And I'm like, okay, so we both get on the train. It's like full of construction workers, and then me,
And you.
covered in dirt,
And you're like,
this is
with
such an awesome
with my
story.
backpack and everything, and they're all just like, okay.
Just let it
my
walk.
God.
Just
And
let it
so,
walk.
and then so like the train like starts going down the mountain, and then I swear not like 3 minutes later it just starts pouring rain. And I'm like,
Nice.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh.
That's good timing.
That's wild.
yeah, that was but the whole time I was like, well, I mean, I'm not gonna have this story if I don't like make it to the top. Like, and then I bailed.
Yeah.
So
did you ever go on a study abroad? Because y'all have some pretty special
yeah, you went
memories.
to Italy.
Yeah, I went to Cortona, which
Yeah,
was
that's
really cool.
Did any fun stories?
Yeah. So we spent a couple days in Florence, like as a class.
Florence Pugh?
Yeah, Florence Pugh.
The very same.
And then me and this guy I met decided to stay there like 2 extra nights because we had free days.
That's awesome.
And so we got an Airbnb, and we're getting off the train with like everybody because we just come back from an excursion, and they were like, "All right, we'll see you in Cortona in 3 days."
Yeah.
And we were like walking this Airbnb,
Yeah.
and we couldn't figure out how to get there, and we had to like we walked out the wrong side of the train terminal, so we had to walk like under an underpass.
Yeah.
And we were getting sketched out, and then we found out, oh, it's a hostel. Yeah, that what rents through Airbnb. So
Gotcha.
we had our own room,
Yeah,
but we sharing a bathroom with
Oh my
like
God.
4 other people that were there, and I never saw any of them,
Yeah.
which was a little unnerving also.
Yeah.
But I like freaked out. I was like calling my mom, like, "Mom, I can't do this."
Oh my god.
No.
But then I like started to calm down. I'm like, this is just like a normal street. But I was just so intimidated from being in a different country that I didn't speak the language.
Have you ever stayed in a hostel before that?
No, never. It was striking.
Yeah, me either. So when I went to Ireland, the first place we stayed at, we had our own little like apartments. It really wasn't a hostel. Like we shared. There were 2 bathrooms, but there were 3 little apartments in each spot. And that was the first place we stayed at in Galway in Western Ireland, and
cool.
it was maybe one of the most beautiful places I've ever seen in my life. But when we had to go to Northern Ireland in the UK, we stayed in hostels, and then we eventually went to Dublin, the capital of the Republic of Ireland, and we stayed at a hostel there. I hated it.
Yeah.
The first hostel we stayed at in Derry, or London Derry, whichever one you call it, but it was really, really nice. Like it was like a hotel, but we basically were like 3 to a room, or like 3 or 4 to a room, and like between the girls and the boys. But it was still like kind of like compared to what we had before, which is our own room. Like not a whole lot of limited use of the bathroom because I mean there were two toilets for 3 people back where we were at, and so that was a lot nicer. The second hostel we stayed at in Belfast was horrible. It was like worse than like Creswell in terms of hygiene.
That's
I'm not kidding you. The shower room was the most. We did have our own showers in our room.
Yeah.
But we also had to share the room. But it was like the shower room was completely separate. There was nowhere to like put your clothes or anything. And you had to keep pressing the button because the water would turn off every like 5 minutes if you didn't stop.
Yeah.
It's like
How long you guys
That's
take
the
a shower
worst.
for?
2 pumps.
not long for that one. So like I basically it was really, really cool.
So
I don't think you just get to say that.
the only we'll let it slide. So we do actually have to wrap it up, but the only experience that I had with a hostel was I actually booked one for Nashville to go to the Vandy game by myself, and I ended up like not going because I would have had to leave at like 3 a.m., which I ended up doing for Tennessee, but so I never got to go on a study abroad, but like the football games were pretty much my study abroad.
Yeah, I was gonna say one of my favorite trips that we did was Tennessee. I really liked that trip.
Yeah, we'll have to have everybody back on to talk more about like the stories, but that's gonna wrap it up for this episode.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah,
it was
thanks.
great.
It was
It was
fun.
great.
Do y'all want to plug anything in the last minute?
I don't really have I don't have like social, like I'm not like
I can put them in.
I'm not like a social person, like a social media person. Like I'm not an influencer. But Garrett mentioned earlier, like now is a good time to be like uplifting Black communities. So
Yes.
whatever you can be doing for that, donating, spending your time, spending your money, spending your effort, educating, all that stuff.
Yeah,
for sure.
absolutely.
It's sometimes you need to have tough conversations with people that aren't always necessarily receptive.
Yeah.
But trust me, if you keep doing
Beat
that
them up.
with
If you
not
beat
beat them up,
No,
don't beat
no.
them up. But if you keep going at it, I guarantee you, and I've done this with a lot of different people, is if you keep going at it and you honestly try to help them understand instead of trying to like talk down to them, it will help out a lot.
And if you love them, it's worth having the conversation.
Yes, absolutely. It can be really, really difficult with some people, but
It's at the end of the day, it's worth it.
it's
so.
worth it. Yes.
Yeah, we're actually about to cut out, so I don't want to end the topic prematurely. But thank y'all for watching and just spreading love to all communities out there right now. So thank y'all for watching.
Bye.